What's up you guys, Gongrongzong here. So the Warcraft 3 Reforged Beta is out, and I just wanted to make a video showcasing some of the units for you, and to let you know how all the gameplay went. If you're a Warcraft 3 veteran, get ready for a trip down nostalgia lane. If you're new to the game, get ready for a glimpse of one of the best RTS games ever made. So in the beta, they only let us try out the humans and orcs. I won't be going through all the units, but definitely the more significant ones. Let's start off with the iconic Footman. The new Footman looks good. In the concept art, I was a little concerned for the gigantic shoulder pads theme they had going on. But in the game, they've seemed to have streamlined it so it doesn't look too exaggerated. I love how armored they look, head to toe in plate. And check out their defense ability. Ooh, that looks sweet. Let me just put them in a line here. Damn, that is some 300 shield wall shit going down. Someone is bound to make a custom 300 game, I assure you. Let me put even more of them together here. Woo! Chills guys, chills. That looks so damn badass. And their attack animations look pretty smooth too, both with or without the defense ability. Exactly how I would expect a heavy armored foot soldier holding the front line to perform. Okay, so let's make this a bit more fun. Let's do one human, one orc unit. Well, it wouldn't be exactly equal, but let's just see how it goes. Let's obviously check out the grunt next. Straight back orcs guys, straight back all the way, as how it always was in Warcraft 3. They definitely look big and brutish, although they seem quite a bit leaner than the really broad shoulders they used to have in the older model. Their axe too seems to be quite a bit smaller, much more of a one-handed axe than the previous giant model. Their attack animations also seem a little light, lacking weight, almost as if the axe was going to fly out of their hands. Reminds me of the Mists of Pandaria cinematic when the giant orc was wielding a measly stick. Or the orcs from the Warcraft movie, yeah. I'm definitely more impressed by the new Footman, but if they're going for a straight up brawler with the most minimalist of weapons and armor, then this new grunt fulfills that for sure. Okay, so after these two guys is obviously the Peasant. The Peasant looks good. He no longer looks like a weird stubby squash of pixels. He's brawny, tall. Really, he would look like a carpenter dad of a Disney princess kind of look, if that makes any sense at all. Even his attack animations look pretty nice. A large hefty axe that he swings overhead. Ironically, this looks somewhat better than the grunt animation we saw earlier. This one really looks like it can lop some heads off. All in all, great job with the Peasant. Now what about his counterpart, the Peon? Peons look good too, man. I really like how they have this slight lopsided hunch, showcasing their tired or overworked, or perhaps even abused status. For an orc, they look small and skinny too, lacking much of the bulk of normal orcs, which is really what peons are, a lower caste of orc. They also have this really funny idle animation of trying to juggle an axe and it hits their head. Classic, I love it. So at this point, let's check out some of the heroes. Yeah, let's start with the classic Paladin. Not too sure what to think of that hair and that long face. I gotta say, his actual facial model looks way better than his display pic in the UI. The one in the UI looks a bit like a squash potato head. Still, really nice hammer swings though. Fast and swift without being too exaggerated. The old Paladin model made it look as though he was wielding a hammer twice his size, which was pretty unrealistic. Really crisp animation for the Holy Light too, taking the book out and all, just like the original. Uther and Arthur's look way better though, this being just the unusual take they chose with the typical model. And for the Horde, let's take a look at the Tauren Chieftain. Really, really nice. I love it. I'm in love with it. Looks awesome. An incredible amount of detail has been placed into this model, from the hair, to the giant totems on the back, to the ornaments on his horns, everything. And just like the Paladin, his attack animations with that giant polearm look swift and crisp. It looks so real, man. Believable. I know that's such like a layman language, but hey, I'm a layman. I don't really know how else to describe it. Tauren Chieftain looks fantastic. Let's check out the actual Tauren before we move back to the humans. Oh, yes. Beautiful. Simple, but beautiful. The faction colors really stand out now. And look at that attack animation. Damn, he actually does like a slight throw after the swing to position that giant totem back on his shoulders. Did you guys catch that? That's just super cool. the little attention to details. And it's this little attention to details that really struck me for almost all of the units. Let me show you another one. Mortar Combat! Our beloved Mortar team. Check it out. Check out how the gunner is now the one that's reloading the cannon. Previously, I don't know if you guys even noticed it, in the old model it was the spotter that reloaded the cannon. But now, the spotter actually physically points his finger straight in front of him when designating the target. Yet another nice nifty detail. Really fantastic stuff. We see this too in the Troll Headhunters, in how it's super clear now that their hand angles backwards to retrieve another spear after throwing one. This too was already a thing previously, but now with the graphics to support it, it's so much clearer and adds a lot more to the immersion and realism. And that aside, the Troll Headhunter looks sweet. The voodoo motifs, the hunched over stance, everything. It's better looking than the trolls in WoW, man, I can tell you that. Oh, which reminds me, there was a unit I really wanted to show you, and that's none other than our dear Coto Rider. Look at this big boy. Again with the attention to detail. He's actually using the opposite side of his axes as drumsticks. That's really unique. I would never have thought of something like that. I always wondered how they were able to throw axes while beating on drums. But wait, look at that giant big belly. Absolute unit here. And that makes sense, right? It makes sense. You want a huge hulking imposing figure to be on the top of the front lines, motivating the troops. In the old model, it was just a normal orc, but I really like this new take on it, almost like a slave driver of sorts. Okay, but back to heroes. I know which one you guys want to see. Kale Thas, of course. And the Blood Mage doesn't disappoint at all. Look at him. It's so cool. This, guys, this is what a Blood Elf or High Elf is supposed to look like. Not like some anime character. Well, nothing against anime, but Blood Elves were never supposed to be... How should I put this? They were never supposed to be effeminate looking. They were supposed to be proud, grand, magical, mystical. Like Thranduil in The Hobbit. Exactly like that. The Blood Mage looks awesome. And his attack animations... Damn, it's like a combination of spellcasting and agility, the way he flings those green fireballs. And if you observe closely, his secondary attack animation even has him pick up one of the balls flying around him, spin around in a 360, and throw it at his target. I love it. This is a mage, guys. This is a mage. It really brings out the differences in Elven spellcasting, in how it's much more dexterous as compared to the other races. And of course, check out the other High Elf units, the Spellbreaker. Those of you that play Dota will probably know this unit more as the Silencer. But damn, just as I thought that the Footman plate armor looked good, this one looks sweet. Tall and lean, the ornaments of high elven gold, the feathery motifs, that giant shield, that double-bladed sword. They no longer eternally twirl their blades while in combat like the old models, but now have a slight wrist flick after throwing the blade. In WoW, these guys are the royal guard that stand outside Lorthamar's throne room, and they definitely look the part. I'm not a High Elf fanboy by any means, but damn, the High Elves in this game look really good, really capturing the essence of their culture. Okay, so how about we take a break from the two factions and look at some neutral units. I can only share with you guys a few because the beta is really limited right now, but I think with just these few you can get a good sense of how good the other units are going to be. I can't wait to see them personally. Let's start out with the most iconic one, yeah? The Murloc. I am blown away. I mean, how? What? Maybe it's cause I'm too used to the original Warcraft 3 graphics, but check out the level of detail, man. You can see the reflection of light off its skin. You can see the texture of its skin. You can see the individual scales. This looks fantastic close up. And their death animations too, of how they flop backwards and their shield is just flung to one side. Again, attention to detail. I don't know, I know lots of people are complaining about the graphics being bad on the forums, but I like it. It looks great to me. And you guys know me, I will call out Blizzard for its shit the moment I see a chance to do so. But of course, I can't show you Murlocs without showing you Ogres, the two most desired allied races of WoW. Just kidding. The Ogres look great. Nothing that would surprise you, but they look plain awesome. their musculature, their war paint, their hairstyles, their unique armor and loincloths, exactly what a huge brutish hulking monster is supposed to look like. Not some guy with a big floppy belly of a Homer Simpson like the old models. These guys might be dumb, but they will crush you into dust if you piss them off. Mean, menacing, and imposing. Okay, so that's quite a few units already. But let me just show you one more that had a pretty significant change. And that's none other than our troll Shadow Hunter. He's no longer an old bearded voodoo troll, but a warrior spellblade kind of thing, very much like what Vol'jin looked like in WoW. I am loving this new look. Similar to the Tauren Chieftain, the attention to detail on this model is just awesome. And look at that serpent ward, oh man, the bright glow, the scales, so cool. And check out his new weapon, and his attack animation. It's still a big spinning blade, but now you can actually see it return to his hand when you attack at a close enough range. Almost like a boomerang of a demon hunter's blade or something. The glaive throw, yeah, exactly like the glaive throw of WoW's demon hunters. To me, this new model beats the old one hands down. I'm loving this change. At this point, I just want to share a bit about the gameplay. If you're a veteran to the gameplay is basically exactly the same. Absolutely nothing about it is different. This is meant to be a graphical upgrade, and that's it. Gameplay wise, you'll have just as much fun pulling out your old copy and booting it up. However, that being said, as with all games, I think the graphics really contributes to our immersion, and hence our overall sense of fun or satisfaction. With this graphical overhaul, and what I've experienced in the beta, I honestly think it's worth buying a copy of Reforged. The custom games are just going to be absolutely glorious, as they have always been, but this revival of the game is going to bring them back like a tidal wave of awesomeness, and I can't wait to see what new and old games we're going to get. If you've never played Warcraft 3 before, I can guarantee you, hand over heart, the replayability of this game is going to last you years. Going back to the units, there are of course a lot more of them in the game. I've barely scratched the surface with these, but these few were the ones that really struck out to me, whether it being they are the iconic ones, or they just look damn awesome. And of course, it's only the first beta, so unfortunately I've got very limited access to what I can show you. I'm really excited for this release. I hope you guys are too. This game really epitomizes what was all good with Blizzard, the glory days, and now we have it with modern graphics, the best of both worlds.